Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And welcome to another edition of the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for allowing the State of the Saints podcast to be a part of your viewing pleasure. On this edition, we're going to be talking about Saints training camp. As you know, Saints training camp is about to kick off, and I know a lot of people in the Who Dat Nation are really, really excited about that. And also, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the NFL Top 100. We have some New Orleans Saints players that have made the list so far. I know they're going to be putting out more videos. It seems like to me they're not going to do it like from week to week or anything like that, like they once did. Seem like they're just kind of rolling them out on YouTube. So we're going to be talking about some of the Saints players that have made the NFL Top 100 so far. But I want to say thank you. Special shout out to everybody in the chat right now, those that are joining in. I really do appreciate that. But let's go ahead and start talking about training camp, man. Saints training camp is going to kick off on Tuesday. The veterans will report. And of course, we know this is going to be a very different training camp than the years past. You know, we know that this is not a year that we're used to. You know, I mean, dealing with COVID-19, the coronavirus has been really been kicking a butt of the United States since I guess like late February, early March, and you have a lot of sports that shut down, you know, because of COVID-19. But the NFL, they were lucky. They were one of those sports they didn't really have to worry about, you know, getting shut down because the NFL was over by the time COVID-19 cases first started to come out. And now the NFL has to make their adjustments to COVID-19, and it starts with NFL training camp. Now, on Saturday, the Saints rookies reported, and they had to take COVID testing. So, haven't heard anything about any rookies, contracting coronavirus. So that is a plus. That's good news right there. But the veterans are going to report, and of course, they're going to have to take COVID testing as well. Now, there are some guidelines that the NFL had put in place and the New Orleans Saints organization have put in place to try to protect the players, you know, from contracting COVID-19 and for those that may have it. One thing in particular is, of course, we know there's going to be very frequent COVID testing. If it just so happens that one player, contracts the coronavirus, of course, he has to stay away from other players or anything, make sure that, the other players are safe. And also, make sure that that player, doesn't, affect anybody, and they also put that player in isolation. So if the player actually comes, he doesn't, he doesn't come and they tell him to leave or anything like that. They put him in isolation. They allow him to, go at 14 days and stuff like that, and then they check him again, make sure that he's 100%. The Saints organization is really doing their due diligence. They're really doing the right things to make sure that the players that report, they do not have COVID-19. I think between, like, if I'm not mistaken, like the 3rd through the 11th, that's when players are going to have the opportunity to take their physical. They do those strength and conditioning tests. Sean Payton is a guy who a lot of the players say that he really takes it, rough on them, when it comes to those strength and conditioning tests. So, these type of things are going to be taking place, man. And training camp is going to be kind of stressed out. Guys are not going to be all on top of each other, probably not going to have some of the things that we used to seeing during training camp, but it's all to try to protect these players. It's still the same thing. It's not going to be like they're going to bring, it's still going to be shells and shorts. It's not going to be anything like they're about to put on full uniform or anything like that. So it's pretty much training camp, but it's a safe environment and as much as safe as they can possibly make it. So looking forward to that, man. Looking forward to training camp. I'm just glad to be talking about some football. That's the most important thing because, football is very, very important to us. And, for us to be moving towards the regular season, I think is a plus. So I want to give a special shout out to everybody that's joining in from YouTube as well as Facebook. Casual Dex is here. Official Young Nola is here. Your boy Quine. What's going on? Uh, we'll get to that in a minute. He's talking about Mike Evans. I'll talk about that in a minute when we break down the NFL Top 100. Let's see. Latrell, TJ Jones, the host. What's going on? Also, let's see. Stroll down a little bit. Let's get to some questions, some statements. Terrence says Saints will fill the greatness collection of talent in team history this season. Hope they play the season. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're going into that direction, but I have to say this: they're going to have to make some type of bubble in order for them to sustain the season. If they want to have a whole season, they're gonna have to create a bubble. I mean, that's just my honest opinion about this. I don't think that these guys are going to be able to, play and then go home and do all the things that they want to do. I just feel like that's a recipe for disaster. I mean, we look at the NBA, we seen Lou Williams, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Lou Williams left the bubble, went to a funeral. After the funeral, he went to Magic City. So I'm like, come on, man. Like, so how are you going to be able to police these players? You're expecting all these players to do the right thing, and that's just not humanly possible, man. You're going to have players that are going to do really crazy things that's going to cost the team some hardships. So I don't think that the season is going to be able to sustain itself if they don't create a bubble. I don't know if it's going to be like players can't, leave, or they only can go so many places, or it's going to have to be something. Like the NFL is not one of those places like the NBA where they can just buy a whole resort. I mean, it's too many players, but I don't. They're going to have to police it somehow. I already seen some reports to say that the NFL are trying to create fines for players that violate social distancing. Like if you get caught out in the club or you get caught in a place full of people, there's a strong chance that you won't get paid. So they're really trying to buckle down on making these mistakes, and these players making mistakes that can cost the team, a couple weeks without their services. So I'm interested to see how this is going to play out, but I don't think they're going to be able to keep a season going without a bubble. I mean, that's just my opinion. The more the days pass by since the draft, and the more highlights I watch from our rookies make me overly excited. Yeah, Casual Dex. I mean, there's a lot of rookies out there that are doing some really big things. Um, Zach Bourne is one of those guys that kind of standing out. He signed his contract today with the New Orleans Saints, so congratulations to him. He's officially a New Orleans Saint. So Zach Bond is one of those guys I'm really excited about. Cesar Ruiz is another guy that I'm really excited about, and also Adam Trotman. Man, I mean the Saints got some guys that can really, they can really play right away. They can do some things right away. So I'm really excited to see what these guys are going to be able to do this season. So what's going on? I see Jared Poor in the building. What's going on, Jared? Thank you. I see Earl says, what's up, bro? I need to join your show, man. Earl, like I'm open to people, joining the shows and stuff like that, being a part of the show. I mean, I'm open to that. But the only thing is, man, I try to, get individuals that, they trying to start and try to do their own thing, man. I mean, I'm open to people being guests on the show, but I want them to be having some projects going on and stuff like that, and they can be able to join the show. So, if you're thinking about, starting your own podcast, or you're talking about the Saints or something like that, got a little blog going or something like that, just let me know, man. I mean, I would love to have you on the show. Casual Deck says, what's up, Jerry? Giving Jared Poor a shout out. Jared says, I'm here and I'm very pissed. What's wrong with you? What's going on, Jared? What happened, man? What's happening? Chemo says, yo, what's going on, TJ? Who that family, man? What's going on? We got Chemo in the building. Jack Davis says, what up, TJ? Good to catch you live, man. Good to see you. Well, not to see you, but good to see you that you're in the comments, Jack. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Ricky says, what up, TJ? Who that? And we got Corey. Corey says, up, TJ? What do you think about us thrashing the Bucks twice? Well, Corey, I will say that we might beat them once. I think we're going to end up splitting. I don't see the Saints like sweeping them, but I mean, stranger things have happened. I think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a really good football team on paper. Like they're a good football team on paper, just like they were a good football team last year. I don't think there's any difference for the exception of Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. So they were a decent team last year. A lot of interceptions by Jameis Winston that cost them some games and caused them from playing behind the eight ball, but. I really just don't look at it that way. If we playing Madden, then I'll be nervous, like I often say. But we're not playing Madden. We playing real football. So experience matters. Watching Raw, Asuka lost the championship to Sasha Banks by countout. That's why I was pissed and not in a happy mood. I mean, you surprised by that? They trying to put Sasha and Bayley. They trying to make them like this super faction or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? So they want them to have all the belts. So that's not a surprise here. It was going. I knew that was going to happen. What's going on, man? 3-0. What's going on with you? Corey says, TJ, them wings are fire in there, bro. You said them wings. Well, what wings? Oh, I don't know what you talk. I don't know what you. I don't know what wings you talk about, Corey. I appreciate this right now, TJ. Man, no problem, Mr. Pops. Thank you very much for checking out the live. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do one more thing real quick. I got to stay on brand here. I got to switch to Unapologetic Podcast, too. That's right, the State of the Saints podcast. I had to change it up, man, because I use the same platform for not only the State of the Saints, but my other podcast called the Unapologetic Podcast. I forgot to change the logo there. So, yeah, but little cheap plug, man. If you haven't already, you can check out the Unapologetic Podcast. It's on YouTube also. Really good show, man. Good show. I enjoyed doing it. The Truth Hurt says, TJ, I think if 3 players follow guidelines and procedures, we will have a full season. Okay, well, I guess you mean these players. Okay, yeah, but yeah, I agree. The Truth Hurts. If they follow guidelines, but you're expecting a perfect world. Like people just don't follow the rules like that. They don't do all the right things. Like that's just a fact. They don't follow the rules. So you're gonna have some knuckleheads out here that gonna want to go out, gonna want to hang out with a whole bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they get wealthy and stuff like that. They want to flaunt it. They want everybody to know what they got. They want to show it. They want to show out their cars. They want to go out here, show off their jewelry. I mean, it's life. So I expect like some knuckleheads to do some crazy things because that's just the way the world is. I mean, that is just the way that is. TJ, the military can't catch their people out here, so I know the NFL can't keep up with these people. Yeah, I agree. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't gonna be able to keep up with them. It's gonna be a problem. Joe, what's going on, man? Joe, thank you for checking out the live. Dash says 82 for Ryan Ramczyk. What you think? That's fair. No, I don't think it's fair. I think that Ryan Ramczyk is ranked among some of the best offensive linemen in football. I think what hurts him is the fact that he played for the New Orleans Saints and is not a real popular team. Like if you ask me about Tyron Smith, did he play better than Ryan Ramczyk last year? The answer is no. Between him being injured and him being, not his real true self at the left tackle, I would say Ryan Ramczyk should be higher. Ryan Ramczyk should be ranked in at least the 60s or the 50s or something like that. And I'm only saying that because we all know they don't give respect to offensive linemen. They just don't. Like, because they're not a sexy position. They're not that position that catches the ball and dance in the end zone. They're not the running back that jukes people. They're not the quarterback that throws the ball down the field with a bazooka arm. So the way that I look at it, like they already get the short end of the stick, but they are necessary. They are so necessary to the success of any quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, or what have you. So Ryan Ramczyk did not deserve to be in that spot. I think he should have been higher. And I think that's just plain ridiculous. Like, not only can you make an argument that he's the best right tackle in football, but you can make an argument to say that he the best player on the Saints team. You know what I'm saying? When he was talking about actual positions, you can make that argument. So no, I don't think that was fair. Not at all. What up, TJ? I think you have Marshawn rated too low on the top 100. Yeah, man. They definitely had him ranked way too low at 76. That's another guy that got snubbed. Marshawn Lattimore is one of the best cornerbacks in the league. He's ranked in the top 10 in majority of statistical categories for cornerbacks, and sometimes even ranked in the top 5 for some of those categories. So Marshawn Lattimore didn't deserve to be at number 76, but that's just the bias that they have, man. They, for some apparent reason, man, just because you don't play for the Eagles or you don't play for the Giants or the Cowboys or the Steelers or the Packers, all of a sudden, like, they just started to, like, not vote on you, you know what I'm saying, to be pretty much, you know what I'm saying, at that high top 30 position, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I think that was too low for that guy, man. I mean, he did an outstanding job this season. I mean, he could play. Could he have played better? Absolutely. I mean, everybody could play better if you think about it. But when we really needed him to rise to the occasion, when he went up against some of the elite wide receivers in the league, he stood up and he stood his ground. So I don't think he deserved that spot. I think he should have been higher than what they gave him. TJ, you play wide receiver. Give me a player in the league now or a former player that you see yourself in. That I see myself in. Um, um, a player that's in the league right now that reminds me of myself. Um, Honestly, the player that reminds me of myself, I would have to say Kenny Galladay. That's who reminds me of myself. Like I think he has a similar skill set to, you know what I'm saying, than me when it comes to, like, you know what I'm saying. I was pretty fast, man. So you know what I'm saying, I had like really good hands. I wasn't afraid to catch in traffic. So I'll say Kenny Galladay. Kenny Galladay reminds me of myself. So I ain't gonna go out here and say Julio Jones or nothing like that, because if I was, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't be all here talking to y'all. I tell you that right now. So yeah, but Kenny Galladay reminds me of myself. And let me see, someone else like from the past, I would have to say, give or take, man. I would say I wasn't as fast as Robert Meacham, but you know what I'm saying, I can do some things similar to what he did. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would say that. I'm not gonna sit up here and give you some elite receivers like, you know what I'm saying. I had like really good hands and stuff like that, and I can run good routes, but I wasn't like, Julio Jones and nothing like that. If I was, I'm telling you, I would not be here talking to y'all about the Saints right now. I'd probably be playing for the Saints or playing against them. I actually have a podcast on Anchor FM. Well, Earl, like, man, that's good. Like, man, plug your podcast. Let everybody know about your podcast too, man. We can check it out. Hey, TJ, do you remember the press conference after the game by Sean Payton when Jason David would get burnt, and Payton would always blame it on trying to learn the technique they were teaching? Yeah, tragic. You know what I'm saying? I remember. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, do I remember him having a press conference about Jason David? No, I don't. I ain't gonna lie about that. I do not. I do not remember that. I don't remember it at all. But I mean, I don't remember too much about Jason David. I know that he sucked. I know that he wasn't good. I know that he couldn't cover with a bed sheet. I tell you that. He couldn't tackle a mat problem. I can tell you that right now. Man, I can tell you that. I don't know about no press conference, but I can tell you that he sucked. That I do know. That I do know. TJ, what you think about the Saints not adding Elvis and Griffin to the D line? Well, I think they ready to rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? I think the Saints think they're in a good position, but I'm looking for Elvis and Griffin and Jadeveon Clowney to get signed probably by the end of the week by somebody. So, man, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, the Saints have one of those guys on their radar. Even though I'm hearing about Jadeveon Clowney talking about going to the Jets. But that was from Bradley McDougall. I want people to make that very clear. Okay, Bradley McDougall was the one that came out there and said that Jadeveon Clowney has the Jets on his radar. And if he has the Jets on his radar, he might as well should have just went to the Cleveland Browns when they asked him for all that money. Because I mean, Jets, Browns, potato, you know what I'm saying? They basically the same. They both suck. They both haven't been to the playoffs in God knows how long, and they both have pathetic, sorry front offices. So hey, you know what I'm saying? Like you might well just went to the Browns. At least you know where to got some money. Middle linebacker might shut down again. Yeah, man. If you talking about Demario Davis just made the top 100. I think he ranked number 67. So congratulations to him, man. I think he's gonna do a good job this season. I think he's one of the best middle linebackers in football. He made the All-Pro team, then make the Pro Bowl. That goes to tell you everything you need to know about the Pro Bowl. Because how can you be an All-Pro and not make the Pro Bowl? I really do not know. Shows you right there that the NFL is nothing but a popularity contest, and that just proves it. So yeah. Hey TJ, I heard Green Bay is interested in Griffin. You think the Saints are going to pass on him? I think it'll be a mistake. Well, if the Packers are interested in him, that makes a lot of sense. You want to go to a team that possibly could be in the division of the team that you came from. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the team is telling you you old, you washed, we're going into a different direction. You know that going to that other divisional rival and saying, "Oh yeah, well let me show you what I got." So, putting them in the middle on the side of the Smith brothers, you know what I'm saying? Like on that team was Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith. I mean, come on, man! Like, and you have Everson Griffin in the middle. Oh my goodness! I'm telling you, man, that's gonna be some trouble. So if he does go there, Minnesota gonna have some problems twice a year. TJ, my sister-in-law says she's super busy with the Saints and Pelicans, plus both her parents in their 90s. As soon as she has some time, she'll do an interview with you. Okay, Dwayne, I appreciate that, man. You know, I understand that people, have lives and stuff like that, and I understand how people can get busy. Alvin Kamara needs to chill before he catch COVID. I don't know. I don't know what he actually doing. I mean, I seen him out for his birthday. He was out there, you know what I'm saying, like taking shots and stuff like that and celebrating, which I ain't got no problem with. I mean, your birthday only comes once a year. I don't have no problem with Alvin Kamara doing. When I do see him out, man, he have a mask on his face, and I really don't see him doing too much of anything. Most of the time when he go live, he be at his house, so no problem there. I think if we get Griffin and handle AK's contract before the season starts, there'll be a great off season. Yeah, man. I think the Saints are going to work something out with Alvin Kamara. I think that Alvin Kamara is going to end up staying with the Saints for the foreseeable future. So I really don't hear anything. I don't hear no problems from any side. I don't hear about no holdouts. I don't hear anything about him not reporting to training camp. So I'm pretty sure they're going to get something worked out. I wonder if that. I wonder if that interest Green Bay so-called he isn't agent driven. Who is agent driven? Which one? Who you talking about? Everson Griffin? I wonder if that's interest Green Bay so-called he isn't agent driven. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about on that one. Are you talking about Alvin Kamara? Or are you talking about Everson Griffin? Who else saw Mark Evans hating his heart out? Oh, you talking about Mike Evans? Yeah, Mike Evans. Like when when a reporter was talking about Marshawn Lattimore shutting him down for 0 catches last year, he was like, "Ooh," he was like, "Did he do it?" He was like, "It was the team." So I don't know, man. So Mike Evans took an exception to that, which I understand, man. I mean, that's a guy's ego right there. You know what I'm saying? A wide receiver's job is to catch the football, and he didn't do it that day. So I do feel like he was a little bit salty. You know what I'm saying? It was a little bit of salt out there. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, I understand it. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of pride as a player. Like you don't want to hear about nobody shutting you down. So yeah, I mean, but I will say this though, like I mean, the fact that man is on the list and they were showing like all those highlights, and it seemed like to me that's the one clip of that whole entire segment that people wanted to talk about. Like, I mean, it was like several other things, you know what I'm saying, that he did well, you know, and I feel like that was kind of, you know, I mean, like I said, man, you know, he has an ego. You know, Mike Evans has an ego, so I get it. What up, TJ? Who that? Do you think Alvin Kamara played at his best or play to protect himself and go elsewhere after contract? Well, I don't think that he wants to go elsewhere. Let me make sure that's Joe. Okay. Joe, I want to make sure I get your name. So thank you, Joe, for your question. Nah, man, it's not like that. I think that the Saints are going to sign him. You know, I think that the Saints want him to be with the organization. Alvin Kamara is a special talent, and I think that a lot of people take him for granted in the Who Dat Nation. I hear a lot of people talking about this man like he just so super expendable, and like he is not a primary reason why the Saints are successful as they are, man. You know, when you have a running back that can run between the tackles and catch like a wide receiver, that is a very dangerous asset to have. So I feel like people that talk about Alvin Kamara as if anybody can do what he's doing, I feel like that you're doing that guy an injustice. And I think that the Saints are going to sign him because they understand the talent that he has. TJ Miniscreen says, you could have at least put a pic of Breeze on me or something. Why I gotta have the same look as your wall freaking cheapskate. Oh, man. Thank you very much. TJ's mini screen for the $5, man. Well, check this out. The background is the State of the Saints podcast. The logo at the top is the State of the Saints podcast because you're tuned in to the State of the Saints podcast. So that's the reason why mini screen. So deal with it. Deal with it, man. Mike Evans' answer was the equivalent of a goalie in hockey saying, whoa, 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 whoa. He didn't score on me, the team did. Yeah, man, pretty much. But like I said, these guys got egos. I mean, somebody telling you somebody shut you down, man, you ain't trying to hear that if you're a receiver. I mean, it's facts. That comment right there is the greatest of all time. Yeah, absolutely, man. Dex coming through with the good analogy and a good example. I like that, man. The Truth Hurt says, when we run the read option, when Taysom Hill behind the center, we should run it with AK-41, Latavius Murray, and Deontay Harris. Besides, Taysom Hill defense will be confused as hell. Not necessarily. One, because people would be like, okay, like they're not going to really throw the ball most of the time. You know, you might surprise them with a passing play if Alvin Kamara is under center. Like, you might surprise them or something like that if you know how to throw a little bit. But everybody knows it's going to be a running play. Now, you can say, oh, they don't know who's going to run the ball, but then at the same time, like, you get a couple more looks, teams start to get wised up, you know what I'm saying, get smartened up by it. So it might not be as effective. So I like the dynamic with Taysom Hill because you don't know what he's going to do. I mean, you don't know if he's going to run the RPO. You don't know if he's going to throw a pass. You don't know if he's going to hand the ball off. You don't know if he's going to take it himself. So I think using Taysom Hill is better than using Alvin Kamara. We can use more depth on the defensive line because of health every year besides Cam. Yeah, man, but we can't look at it that way, folks. We got to be optimistic, man. We can't just go into the season, you know, just wishing for the worst, you know what I'm saying, or not wishing for the worst, but expecting the worst, I should say. You know, we shouldn't expect the worst. I mean, give these guys opportunity, man. Hopefully these guys can sustain the 16-game season. I mean, injuries are going to occur. But, you know, I mean, just be optimistic. Eddie Shelton says, love your show. Well, I appreciate that, Eddie. Thank you so much for checking us out, man. I appreciate it. AJ Pierce says, just joining what I missed. And he didn't really miss much. We were just talking about training camp, talking about some of the Saints' key additions. We was talking about Everson Griffin. Not too much, man. Just answering questions from the Who Dat Nation. TJ, I think they meant Major League Baseball might shut down again. Yeah, it looked like it, man. I mean, you got a strong majority of players on a team tested positive. I think it was the Marlins team, which is no surprise to me because I mean Florida is a hotspot for COVID-19, so they might shut it down. They might shut. I don't know if they're gonna shut it down. Maybe they might postpone it for a couple of weeks, and then they probably put these guys in a bubble because I'm telling you, man, you're not going to be able to keep playing and have a what I'm saying and be outside a bubble because guys are not going to do the right things. I mean, it's just not possible. TJ's Wi-Fi. Can you close you down anytime I want, fool? TJ's Wi-Fi. You can close me down anytime you want. Yeah, man. Well, thank you very much for the $2. I think I have some pretty good Wi-Fi now. So, well, I guess like versus like when I first started doing this show. I mean, we don't really be having like too many bufferings. Like the last time I did it, what I'm saying? When I first started doing this, it seemed like I was always having connection problems. So, yeah. Tim, thank you very much for the $5. He says the host of the State of the Saints podcast. We good, TJ. Quick question. Who you think was the best acquisition this offseason? That's easy. Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders, hands down, was the best acquisition of the New Orleans Saints this offseason. I mean, we've been clamoring and asking for a number two all year long. We've been asking for a number two. We already come to the conclusion that Traquan Smith is not the answer. So now you have your certified number two. So it's definitely Emmanuel Sanders without a doubt. Marcus Williams is scary. Let him walk. Now I don't agree with that. Marcus Williams is not scary, and he's a really good safety. I think he is one of the most underrated safeties in the league, if you ask me. My guy Mike Ricks, man. He says Mike Evans got shut down by Lattimore and Bradbury. Yeah, man, pretty much, man. Yeah, Mike. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, but like I understand it as a player, man. You got pride. You got pride, and you don't want nobody to get the best of you. So I understand why he said what he said. So yeah, man. But man, shouts out to my guy Mike Ricks, man. He got his Carolina Panthers channel and everything like that. Got that going on, man. Shouts out to him. Y'all probably seen him on the show a couple weeks ago talking about the Carolina Panthers. And if you check out NFC South versus NFL, he's on the show with me, and also DJ Hopkins, a fan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. So, I'm always going to support my guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Even though, we cheer for different teams, I'm still going to support my guy, and I hope him all the success in the world for his channel, man. So shouts out to my guy, Mike. Let's see. John Gill says, I'm coming in late. I like Keith Washington highlights. He looks like he might fit, which makes me transition to my next point. And I think this was a topic of conversation as well, folks. It's the fact of some of these players out here that are unrestricted free agents, guys that are, rookies, that are trying to get roster spots. People like Keith Washington might not get the opportunities because of there's no preseason. I know we made a argument. I said I don't really care for preseason. I wish there was no preseason, but preseason is necessary. I will concede to that because it gives coaches an opportunity to see some players that could possibly be on a bubble. How can they play in real time? Because some players are what you in Coleman's, the Adrian Arringtons, the the people like that. The people that look good in practice, and you're like, wow, man, they're splashing right now. But when they get into the game, man, they fold up like a cheap tent. So the lack of preseason games or no preseason games, rather, is going to affect guys like Keith Washington. It's going to affect some of these young guys like Jawan Johnson and Marquise Callaway and Roach and all these other guys that a lot of people have been asking about these guys might, they might get the short end of the stick, man. So they really got to put their best foot forward if they're going to make this team. So if Keith Washington, like you said, you like what you see, but if he don't go out there and he don't perform and take advantage of his reps, he's not going to make the team, no matter how much promise he has. So, little food for thought. How much did Ruiz sign for? I'm not sure, man, but I'm pretty sure it was a really cap-friendly rookie deal, man, because we know that the rookies don't really get that much money. I think they probably get like, if you're a first pick overall, you might get like, I don't know, like $27 million or something like that, 24 to 27 mil. So he probably got, we were like pick 21 or something like that. So I don't know. He probably gonna get like a good $6 or $7 million a year, something like that, something of that nature. State of the Saints podcast. Hey TJ, I'm back. Let's talk Saints football, man. Yeah, man, let it go, man. I mean, it's raw, like Oscar will become champion again in no time. Hey TJ, do you remember when you were and how pissed you were when the Saints traded Jimmy Graham? No, I don't. I do not. I do not. I wasn't ticked off at all. Like I wasn't mad. Like I was like, okay, I'm like Max Unger. I'm like, okay, what I'm saying? First round pick, fine, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't like ticked off or nothing like that. Like, did I like Jimmy Graham? I mean, it's no secret. I wasn't really a big fan. He did some good things, but I feel like he bit the hand that fed him because he has not been the same since he signed, since he left the New Orleans Saints and got traded to the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, that goes to show you right there that he was a system guy. So no, I really wasn't upset. I think the Saints won that trade. I think we all can agree because Max Unger was a beast. So yeah. TJ, I disagree. I think Marcus Williams hurt us more than helped. Yeah, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? We can agree to disagree. I don't agree that he hurts us. I feel like he's one of the best. Safeties in football. I mean, his numbers prove that. So if that's how you feel, I understand it, but we're just gonna have to disagree with that because I feel like the Saints really have a great asset with Marcus Williams. TJ, who that fam? I'm ready to get this season started. Yeah, I am too. I think a lot of people are. Tramal, who would you keep, PJ or Marcus Williams? Oh, come on now. That's not even a question. Yeah, that's not even a contest. A lot of people are dismissing Carolina. Their defense is going to score with Teddy, Christian McCaffrey, Roby, and more. I don't know about that, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I don't know if they're gonna be that good or not, but they're gonna be competitive, man. You know what I'm saying? That coach that they have, I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? I would run through a wall for that guy. So yeah, I can get that. You know what I'm saying? I get why, you know what I'm saying? Like they would win some games. So that's not gonna surprise me at all. You know what I'm saying? If they don't win at least 9 or 10 games, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Got a little sidetrack and we're looking at something. Let's see. Williams, even though he a bum safety, no, he not. I don't get. Please tell me why you think he a bum safety. That's all I want to know. Why? Because of the Minneapolis Miracle. Like, come on, man. Like, we gotta let that stuff go. That man is not a bum safety. Go look at his stats and go look at how high rated he is as far as among other safeties. It seems like we just can't let that Minneapolis Miracle go, but we fail to forget the fact that this man caught the interception and actually put the Saints back into the game. So Saints about to run the NFC this year, 4th straight division title, and the number 1 seed belongs to us. Well, I hope you're right. That's a strong statement right there. I think they're gonna be some competitors, man. The number 1 seed. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they might end up being what they was last year, a 3 seed. What are what are some of your bold, hard predictions this year for the Saints players and game? Well, bold predictions for the Saints. I feel like Marcus Davenport gonna have double-digit sacks. I feel like Marcus Williams is going to take a step forward because he has a mentor in Malcolm Jenkins, and I think the secondary is probably going to be the best part of the defense, this season because of Malcolm Jenkins. So that's my bold predictions right there. I don't have any for games because games. I can say the Saints going to win, but we all know that that don't mean that's going to happen. Tyrell says, even though there's no preseason, we will have everybody at full strength. So the NFL better watch out. I hope so. As long as nobody get hurt, we should be okay. TJ, if Brandon Cooks would have checked his ego, we would have been so limited at the number 2 wide receiver spot. Yeah, man. Brandon Cooks was good, but he wasn't as good as he thought he was. He was fast, but he just had straight line speed, and he didn't have anything else, in my opinion, going for him. So he wasn't elusive. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't get yards after the catch unless he like blow past you. So he wasn't that good. And I think the Saints made the right decision because it came down to him and Michael Thomas. And look how their careers turning out right now. 2009 Super Bowl. Thank you very much for the $2. Say, y'all can't live off me forever. Time to move on. You're absolutely right. It's definitely time to move on because, quite frankly, 2009 Super Bowl, I am kind of tired of talking about you and using you as a scapegoat when other teams, start talking about you. So, yeah. Tim, thank you very much for the $10. He says, William is a good safety with bad football IQ. It took me a year to get over that Minneapolis Miracle, but what DB in their right mind tries to go face mask to shoulder tackle a tight end like Kittle? Well, I say this, okay? I say that to say this. I disagree about him not having a good football IQ because I have seen Marcus Williams jump in front of plays to catch interceptions. Like he has really good ball skills, okay? Football IQ, I feel like, okay, football IQ is when you like constantly out of position. Like I feel like PJ Williams doesn't have really good football IQ. I feel like Jason David or Fred Thomas back in the day didn't have good football IQ. I feel like Marcus Williams' problem is he shrinks in big moments. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my issue with him. And I feel like he needs to work on his tackling. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like his tackling is not up to snuff. I feel like he just needs to get a little bit more tougher. Like, so if you want to talk about him being like super tough, then we can have a conversation. But to say that he's not a good football player, I disagree with that. Like, I really feel like he is a really good football player. Like, a guy like what he had like 9 or 10 interceptions, something like that. Like in his first 3 years in the league. So I don't know, man. I can't really jump on him like that. I do think he has some really good skills. He has the same issues that Malcolm Jenkins had when he first was with the Saints. I'm telling you, man, go look at Malcolm Jenkins and then go look at Marcus Williams and tell me you don't see the same type of safety. I feel like Malcolm Jenkins is really going to help Marcus Williams in a big way. I really do. Let me see. King Arthur says, man, TJ, tell them put some respect on Marcus Williams' name. Dude is a great young safety. These casuals are being prisoners of the moment. Look, I won't call them casuals, King Arthur. I don't want to do that. But I will say this. I think people just got that Minneapolis Miracle in their mind, and they just can't shake that. So anything that he does that's not good is amplified. It's like Drew Brees, right? So Drew Brees has done so many great things in a New Orleans Saints uniform to a point where the majority of the Who Dat Nation will completely look past his imperfections. Like anything that he does wrong, people will defend him to the death. Marcus Williams is the complete opposite. Marcus Williams is the guy that, like he is the guy that a lot of people just look at as the poster child for failure. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. So if he misses a tackle, it's the worst missed tackle in history. If he misses an interception, it's the worst missed opportunity in history. All because of that Minneapolis Miracle. Now imagine if Marcus Williams would have made the tackle on Stephon Diggs in bounds. I guarantee you, people would not be having these type of conversations about Marcus Williams. You would not. You'll be giving him the benefit of the doubt. It's just the fact that people hold on to this and they just got this grudge against Marcus Williams. And it's unfair that you're holding this type of this play and this player hostage, you know what I'm saying, and don't want to allow him to elevate his game, which he has. So, I mean, and I feel like if you let Marcus Williams go, another team is going to have a really good safety for years to come. So the Saints can get rid of him if they want to, and watch Marcus Williams go to another team and be one of the best bright spots of the team. And you heard it right here first. I think Devontae Harris will have a huge role in our offense this year and a matchup nightmare. Yeah, well, I hope so. He getting better. He's catching the ball better. The Saints got different packages for him and stuff like that. And he is one of those guys that can end up being like a Tyreek Hill type player, if he continues to develop, continues to work on his hands and his route running, which I see him doing on social media and stuff like that. He's working on his body. He look like he's getting stronger, like he gained a little bit more weight. So it really looks like he's really taking year 2 very, very seriously. So we got to look out for him. Minneapolis Miracle says, well, first off, Minneapolis Miracle, thank you for the $2. Says, y'all still see me in your nightmares. Admit it. Well, I mean, me personally, that 2018 NFC Championship game to me kind of trumps the Minneapolis Miracle. So that 2018 controversial 9 call, that's what gave me nightmares. Not so much the Minneapolis Miracle. Marcus Williams needs to watch a National Geographic documentary on how the animals in Africa defend their territory. And that's he needs to adopt and treat wide receivers bad that go in there. Well, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something about Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams, the biggest issue that he has is tackling. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know that's important, but it's not like he can't tackle. It's the fact that he is not physical enough when he tackles. So that is something that I feel like he needs to work on. Besides that, dude pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a solid safety. Like, I mean, the guy has really good ball skills. So, I mean, I don't know. I think that he just, he's young. Man, Mark Williams, what are you about, 22, 23? Man, got his whole career ahead of him. We need lunch eaters in the secondary. Nobody brings the pain since Raphael Bush, man. Yeah, I agree, man. Raphael Bush was a guy who was a hard hitter. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, I think they got some dog. I think they got a dog out there. Malcolm Jenkins, is a tough safety. And Janoris Jenkins is a good cornerback. He's a physical guy. So they got him now. And maybe those two players can rub off on those other guys. I'm sorry, but Marcus Williams is the best safety since Darren Sharper. In a Saints uniform, yeah, I absolutely agree. 100%. He is the best safety since Darren Sharper. The Saints have not had decent safety play since Darren Sharper. They had okay safeties, but not like anybody that just the hoop and holler about. I mean, who y'all gonna say? Jarius Byrd? Man, please. I bet none of y'all say that Marcus Williams not better than Jarius Byrd. I bet you want to say that. Hey, TJ, why do I always miss your live from the beginning? I don't know, Derek. Probably because I don't really have a time. You know what I'm saying? That I just come on. Like I just kind of just press the live button and just come on. So I really don't really prepare people. So that's probably the reason why I don't have a set time. Because honestly, I can't because of my son. Like, I don't know what time he's going to go to sleep. he might be up. Like, so I gotta make sure that I put him to sleep. Especially when my girl's not here. Yeah, Marcus Williams averaged 5 interceptions a year. Yeah, I mean, where you gonna get that type of production at? Minneapolis Miracle. It is not our worst nightmare. Yeah, it is not to me. It's not my worst nightmare. I can tell you that. Marcus Williams should have made that tackle. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree, but hey, it is what it is. Can't take it back. Can't turn back the hands of time. We ain't got the DeLorean, from Doc Brown to go back to 2017 when it happened, or 2018. It happened in 2018. So, yeah, we can't go back. So, you got to live with it. Well, we want to give him a chance as Saints fans, but those critical moments really wipe away the good he does. I know CJ Gardner-Johnson missed that first tackle, but Marcus was dragged for 20 yards. He was dragged for 20. Let's put this into context, Tim. He was dragged for 20 yards because he wasn't trying to get George Kittle on the ground. Like, they try to make it seem like, excuse me, they try to make it seem like George Kittle, like you're just dragging them guys. Like, I really feel like if they wanted to get him down on the ground, they could have got him down on the ground from the jump. What happened was the play was just so, I guess that, like, it was like 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, right? George Kittle catch the ball. He starts streaking down the field. And they realized, dang, he in field goal range. So they went into hero mode. They didn't try to stop the bleeding. Like, I mean, they were trying to patch up the whole wound. Like, they was really trying to, like, make up for the huge error. So they were trying to strip the ball out of his hand. And of course, George Kittle understood that, so he was fighting him. And so I don't want people to be like, man, he was getting dragged. Nah, he was trying to get the ball. Him, I don't know if that was Von Bell and CJ Gardner, they all were trying to strip the ball out of his hand. So, I mean, in the process, it made George Kittle look like a superhero, but I think they could have got him down on the ground if they wanted to. What time your live actually starts? I'm always catching it late. Who that? Well, I try to normally come on at around 9 o'clock. Like 9 o'clock, I normally try to come on. I was trying to watch, I was trying to watch Homeland tonight. I've been watching Homeland. I watched the complete 8 season of Homeland. So I caught the final episode. It ran, a little bit later than I anticipated because I had to stop a couple times to deal with my son and see what my girl wanted and stuff like that. So, yeah, I was watching Homeland, man. So that's the reason why I came on around 10:15 tonight. Well, 10:15 Eastern time. We can run jet sweeps and reverse and double reverses with Deontay Harris. I agree with that. I don't want no more double reverses, though. Just give me one reverse. I don't need 2 and 3 reverses. AK comes in at 42 on the NFL Top 100. Well, man, he dropped tremendously, didn't he? Because he was like, what, number 12 or something like that last season? 21, something like that. Y'all acting like Marcus Williams and Fred Thomas. Yeah, man. I mean, look, people need, it's amazing to me how people just have a tendency of forgetting how trash this secondary was and how we just got the nerve to really just be sitting up here analyzing, talking about how trash somebody is. The garbage, the pathetic display of player that have come through this Saints organization in the secondary. My goodness. How do we have room to talk about anybody after the garbage that has took the field in the Superdome in the black and gold? My goodness. Go back and watch some of the games, man. And y'all, man, go back and watch some of them sorry cornerbacks that the Saints had in the past and then come tell me something to the Paul Marcus Williams. For real. I think CJ Gardner-Johnson is going to have a great season. He is a physical hitter. Yeah, he is, man. He ain't afraid of that contact. I give him that. Gardner-Johnson is a lunch eater. Yeah, I forgot about him, Elvis. I'll throw him in that category. Man, whatever happened to Dez Bryant? I don't know, man. That's a sad story about Dez, though. It's sad. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely sad. Dez. I think I seen Dez Bryant talking to somebody on social media and stuff like that. Somebody said, quote, man, stop begging the Cowboys to bring you back. Bruh. that was sad right there, man. That was sad. And Dez Bryant don't deserve this, by the way. I don't know if he got blackballed or what, but the guy deserves to be in the league. He deserves it. Marcus Williams ain't nowhere near Darren Sharper, but he decent and he deserves more credit for his contributions to the team. Josh, let me make this very, very clear. I'm not saying that he is Darren Sharper. That is blasphemous. He is not Darren Sharper. Look, I'm talking about Darren Sharper on the field, not off the field. Okay, Darren Sharper on the field, probably if he didn't get into any trouble, would have been in the Hall of Fame. Okay, let's make that clear. I'm not saying that he is Darren Sharper or on the level of Darren Sharper. I'm saying he's the best safety the Saints have had since Darren Sharper. That's what I'm saying. Because the Saints have had some hot garbage in the secondary. Straight up. Dwayne, thank you very much for the 99 cent, man. Appreciate that. CJ Gardner Johnson. Yeah, man. Ice Cream Man 504. What's going on? Appreciate you checking out the live. TJ, I don't know if you answered this, but what are your top 5 things we must do on defense this year to ensure a Super Bowl appearance? I mean, for me to have 5 things, I'll really have to think about it. I can give you a few. If it turns into 5, then fine. Number 1, they got to take advantage of opportunities that present themselves. When it's you know what I'm saying, when you need a 3 and out, you know what I'm saying, get a 3 and out. When the team needs a stop, get a stop. Not giving up big plays in crucial moments of the game. That's what kills them the most. Giving up those big plays, allowing teams to get into the end zone, not even to kick a field goal, but to actually get into the end zone, driving down the field. Guys got to be on the same page. They got to have chemistry, okay? They got to be able to talk to each other. Guys got to understand each other's tendencies. They've been around each other for a while, so that shouldn't be a problem. And the players got to stay healthy. The defensive line, they got to stay healthy. If they stay together as a unit, then the sky's the limit, and they can make the Super Bowl. Hey, Jai Anderson, what's going on, man? Appreciate you checking out the live. Man, y'all check out Laniap Legends with or Jared Anderson, man. Y'all check him out, man. Real good podcast. So y'all make sure y'all follow him on Facebook and also follow him on YouTube as well, man. Laniap Legends. Chemo says from historically bad to top 10. Yeah. I look forward to them teaching Williams how to tackle. And do you think CJ will take a back seat now that Jenkins is here? No, I don't. I don't think he's going to take a back seat at all. I think the Saints are probably going to up his load. You know, I really feel that way. So I think he's really going to be all over the field. The Saints are going to use him in a plethora of ways. You know, like you have a whole catalog for this dude. They think very highly of CJ Gardner Johnson. They should just come back to the Saints. He will work well with the Saints. Yeah, well, I just feel bad because I feel like, you know, it's passing him by now, man. He's on the other side of 30, and now teams got the excuse like, oh, you know, like he's 30, so yeah. I'm old enough to remember when half of America would watch the Saints versus Bucks games just for comedy effect. That's how bad they used to be. Yeah, man, they suck pretty bad now, man. When the Bucks had them creamsicle uniforms on, and the Saints, you know what I'm saying, you can get a big shot, a hot sergeant on French, and 2 Saints tickets all for the same store. The Saints were bad, man. Like there's the joke where somebody say, you know, they had 2 Saints tickets on the seat, and somebody broke the glass, and then they had 4 Saints tickets on the seat. So yeah, they were pretty bad during that time, man. No doubt about that. I mean, they used to, like, Q93 used to be giving away Saints tickets, and people would be like, you know what I'm saying, they ain't even come pick them up or nothing. So yeah, they were pretty bad. TJ Ballpark, how many tackles Bond will get this season? I'm gonna say about 70. I'll say about 70 tackles. Between 70 to 75. We can't depend on Breeze to win every game. Defense has to step up. It's a make or break year. Got to do better in playoff. No excuses. I absolutely agree with that, man. Absolutely agree. They can't rely on Drew Brees this year. Like I said, I feel like they need to be focusing in a direction of having an elite defense and being almost like the Denver Broncos when they carry Peyton Manning to the Super Bowl. Somebody need to carry Drew Brees to his. Hey TJ, did you see T.O. race the Kansas City Chiefs receiver? Terrell is still fast. Yeah, I seen that. I see that Tyreek Hill gave him a 10-yard head start though, but he was flying though. And I think he ran like a 4.4 or something, if I'm not mistaken. That's not bad for a 46-year-old man. I think Nolan should have been our defensive coordinator, and Allen could have stayed with the DBs or took a hike, and we could keep Glenn. Yeah, man, the Saints are really they're gonna miss Mike Nolan, like for real. Y'all know how I think about Jeff Ireland in the front office. That's the way I feel about Mike Nolan. I feel like Mike Nolan was the reason I feel like those linebackers were playing at a high level because he was the linebackers coach. And I think you're going to see a huge improvement on the defense of the Dallas Cowboys now that he's there. And I'm scared too because they might end up really being good between McCartney and Nolan. Let's sign T.O. Nah. No, let's not. I mean, it was a good run, you know what I'm saying? He's still fast. He still got that speed and all that kind of stuff. But nah, we ain't got to a point where we need to be signing 46-year-old guys, man. TJ, I'm on the other device scrolling YouTube and it shows worst cornerback ever. Guess who is? Guess who it is? That's right. Burnt like toast. Fred Thomas got me laughing and puking at the same time. Yeah, man, that footage was funny. I'm not gonna lie about that. That was hilarious. Watching that guy out there get smoked, roasted, and toasted like that. It was funny. Drew has plenty in the tank. Just can't rely on him to have 8 400-yard passing games to bail out the defense. Yeah, he has something left in the tank, man. I don't know about plenty. I mean, he got something left in there, I just think that the Saints need to start focusing on elevating their defense. Stop relying on Drew Brees. They need to up the running game and they need to up the defense. And I think when they do that, I think they'll be okay. But let me focus in on training camp. Once again, man, training camp is, if you're looking at this on a Monday night, it is going to be tomorrow, the Saints Veterans Report. I'm interested to see what they're going to do, man. I'm interested to see, what kind of shape these guys are going to be in. The fact that there was no team activities and the team counting on these players to come in prime condition, great shape. So discipline plays a huge role, making sure these guys, been in a gym and not in a local bakery or, eating too much etouffee or gumbo. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that these guys have been disciplined in the offseason. So I'm interested to see will these guys come back being better than ever. Will they be more hungry? New players, new faces, new storylines. So I want to see some bright spots. I want to see if Emmanuel Butler takes an extra step. I want to see if Deontay Harris merges into that number 3. I want to see if Traquan Smith does better. I want to see if some of these young players are worth the Saints actually drafting them. I want to see some of these guys doing really good things or hearing about it. So hopefully these guys can take a step forward. I'm looking forward to looking at some of these rookies that can possibly make the team. I want to see the wide receiver competition. I want to see who will end up getting cut. I want to see the tight ends. And I just want to see the secondary, man. And I don't want to hear about anybody being out for the season, anybody. And I don't want to see anybody testing positive for COVID-19. So if we can keep these things, under control, I think we should be okay. But I want to say thank you to everybody. This has been the State of the Saints podcast. But see, I'll be ripping them just donated. I'll be ripping them. Thank you very much for the $2. Do you consider me a legend in the fart game? And absolutely. There's no bigger legend than you. And I'll be ripping them. I feel like I owe you an apology, my friend, because I know you was asking questions to Mario Edwards during the interview. It wasn't that I didn't want to see, answer your questions or ask him your questions. It was just the fact that he was pressed for time. He was actually at the Saints facility, man, about to get an IV. So he was, you know what I'm saying, he was like on a time constraint. So it wasn't, I didn't want to ask you a question or anything like that. And I apologize, man, but he was just so pressed for time, and I couldn't really, you know, I really couldn't ask him any question or whatever like that without it going over. So I do apologize to you, man. But you are a fart legend, my friend. No doubt about that. But once again, man, thank y'all very much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast live. We'll be going live on tomorrow. I had to push back the worst quarterbacks in Saints history. That is going to be tomorrow. I got the brackets up. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting y'all know right now. This list right here, I mean, hot garbage. Okay, but we're gonna break it down and we're gonna name the worst quarterback in Saints history. Okay, and the first round is going to start on tomorrow. But this has been the State of the Saints podcast. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search the State of the Saints podcast, facebook.com, search the State of the Saints podcast. The audio version is available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio.com. And you can also check out the State of the Saints podcast by using Alexa. All you have to do is say, "Hey, Alexa, play the State of the Saints podcast," and you'll get the most recent episode. Till next time, all I got to say is, who that?